The Mystery of the Spiteful Letters by Enid Blyton. Bets and her brother Pip were waiting impatiently for Larry, his sister Daisy, and Frederick, otherwise known as Fatty, to come and see them. The school holidays had started the day before, and Bets was longing to know if Fatty had got any more disguises. Pip was hoping there would be another mystery for the 5 find-outers to solve. Suddenly, Bets, who was looking out of the window, gave a yell. She'd spotted Larry and Daisy coming up the drive. They tore downstairs into the garden.
Hello, Larry. Hello, Daisy. Seen Fatty at all?
No. Isn't he here? Let's go to the gate and watch for him. Won't it be fun to see old Buster again, wagging his tail and trotting along on his short Scotty legs?
Oh, look! Here comes old Clearorth, our favourite policeman. Hello, Mr. Goon.
So, you're back again. Be poking your noses into things again, I suppose.
I expect so. Telegraph boy, look out, Mr. Goon.
Now then, what are you riding like that for?
Sorry, sir. My bike sort of swerved over. I've got a telegram for Master Philip Hilton.
I'm Philip Hilton.
Here we are, sir.
Thanks. It's from Fatty. Listen. Sorry not to see you, these holes. Have got a mystery to solve in Tippy Lulu, and am leaving by plane today. All the best, Fatty.
You let me see that. Leaving by plane for Tippy... whatever it is. Never heard of the place.
It's in South China.
But why should he solve a mystery out there?
Oh, we shan't see him, these holes.
A good thing too. He's a tiresome nuisance, he is, pretending to play detective.
Sir, is that telegram from that clever Mr. Trotville? I've heard about him.
Mr. Trotville? Why, he's no more than a kid. Mr. Interfering Fatty, that's what I call him.
Sorry, sir. Didn't mean to make you all up and bothered, but a very clever chap he seems to be.
You get along now. I must get about the business of the law too. And no trouble from you lot.
Oh, Fatty, I did so want him to come back and find another mystery.
Oh, shut up, Bets. We can solve mysteries without Fatty, can't we?
Fancy, Fatty off to South China.
That telegraph boy thought an awful lot of Fatty.
Yes, I like that boy. He reminded me of someone, but I can't think who.
Bets suddenly thought of Buster and how lonely he would be without Fatty. The others all agreed, and together they went to Fatty's house to ask his mother if they could look after Buster during the holidays. Fatty's mother was picking some daffodils as the children went into the drive and gave them a friendly greeting. She was somewhat surprised when they told her the reason for their visit, and began to get quite impatient when they talked about Fatty's visit to China. Fatty in China? Absolute nonsense. Mrs. Trotville raised her voice and called to her son to come at once. The children turned to the house, and out of the front door came Fatty. Bets gave a loud shriek. The others just stared.
Oh, Fatty! I thought you'd gone to Tippy Lulu. Did you send us that telegram?
What telegram?
This telegram.
Let me read it. Somebody's been playing a joke on you. Who delivered this telegram?
The telegraph boy. Red hair chap with freckles and a cheeky voice.
There's something odd about that telegraph boy. Let's go and look for him. You go that way, Larry and Daisy, and you go the opposite way, Pip and Bets. I'll take this third way. We'll meet at the corner by the church in half an hour.
Larry and Daisy saw no telegraph boy at all, and were waiting by the church corner when Pip and Bets came up. They hadn't seen him either. Round the corner came a bicycle, and on it was the telegraph boy. Larry gave a shout.
Oi, come over here a minute.
What's up, mate?
It's about that telegram. Our friend hasn't gone to China. He's here.
Where?
I mean, he's in the village. He'll be along in a minute.
Coo, I wouldn't half like to see him. He's a wonder, he is. I wonder the police don't take him on.
Well, we all help to solve the mysteries, you know.
No, did you really? I thought it was Mr. Trotville that was the brain to the party.
That was a dud telegram you brought. Did you fake it?
Me fake it? Coo, I'd lose my job. Look here, when's this famous friend of yours coming? I've got to get back to the post office.
The post office can wait a minute or two.
Buster! Come on, Buster! Where's Fatty? Oh, look at Buster. He's a telegraph boy. I've never seen him do that to a stranger. Oh, it's Fatty! What idiots we are!
You wretch! You took us all in properly. Oh, clear off too.
Just let me take this wig off and wipe the freckles off my face.
Fatty, it's a wonderful disguise.
Golly, now I know why the telegraph boy praised you up so, you idiot.
It's a new disguise I got. Wanted to try it out. I'm getting awfully good at disguises and acting.
You are, Fatty. I would never have known it was you if I hadn't noticed Buster sitting down looking up at you with that adoring look.
So that's how you guessed it. Clever girl.
Are you going to use that disguise when we solve our next mystery?
What is our next mystery? We haven't got one.
I bet a mystery will turn up again soon. And I hope we'll be onto it before old Clear Off is.
I'd certainly like another mystery to solve.
I must go and change out of this telegraph boy's suit. So long.
A whole week went by. The weather was dull and rainy, and the children got tired of it. The 5 of them and Buster met at Pip's each day. One day, when they were making rather a noise, Mrs. Hilton came in looking cross and told them to quieten down. Pip was wrapped in a weird purple garment, acting the part of a Roman emperor. He confessed he'd taken the cover from Mrs. Moon's bed and was told to put it back at once. Mrs. Moon was the cook housekeeper and had been with the Hiltons only a few months. She was a wonderful cook, but had a very bad temper. Pip thought she was a spiteful old telltale. None of the children liked her at all and felt sorry for Gladys, the timid little housemaid who was scared of her. Pip was fed up with being indoors and suggested they should go out, even if it was still raining. Have a snoop around and see if they could hit on something of interest. They snooped around for a while, but all in vain. There was absolutely nothing strange or mysterious to find. The next day was fine and sunny. Larry, Daisy, Fatty and Buster arrived early, full of a good plan.
Let's take our lunch and go to Burnham Beeches. You should see some of the beeches, Bets. Enormous old giants, all gnarled and knotted. And some of them really seem to have faces in their trunks.
Oh, I'd like to go.
What's up with your Gladys?
Gladys? Nothing. Why?
Well, she looked as if she'd been crying when I saw her.
She was quite all right last night. Perhaps she got into a row with Mrs. Moon.
Shouldn't think so. Mrs. Moon called out something quite friendly to her as I passed. Perhaps she's had bad news.
Poor Gladys. I must go and see her. Gladys! Gladys! Oh, there you are. Have you been crying? What's the matter?
No, nothing's the matter, Miss Betts. I'm all right.
Have you had bad news?
No, just you repeat what I say. There's nothing the matter. You run off to the others.
Is she all right, Bets?
She has been crying, but she won't tell me why.
Well, leave her alone then. Come on, let's go and ask about this picnic.
Mother, we'd like to go for a picnic to Burnham Beeches. Would that be all right?
Of course. You can take your lunch and your tea if you like. I'll get it ready for you, whilst Fatty and the others go back to get theirs.
Come on, Larry, let's go. We'll see you back here as soon as possible.
Now, just keep out for the whole day and don't come tearing back because you're bored. I've got important things to do today.
What are they, Mother?
Never you mind. Now off you go and have a lovely day.
Mother seemed to want to get rid of us today, didn't she? I wonder why.
You're trying to make it out to be a mystery. I expect she's going to turn out cupboards or something. Hurrah! There are the others! Come on!
The children had a lovely day. It was warm and sunny. There were primroses everywhere. Buster went off happily to solve the great rabbit mystery. The day passed quickly, and it was soon time to go home again. They all parted at the church corner to go their different ways, agreeing to meet at Larry's the next day. Pip and Bets biked down their lane feeling very thirsty. They were going to ask Gladys for a jug of iced water, but couldn't find her. Mrs. Moon was in the kitchen in an unexpectedly amiable mood, until they asked about Gladys. She didn't want to talk about her. But why? Bets wondered if Gladys had left, so they had a peep in her room. Every single thing that had belonged to Gladys had gone. Her brush and comb, her toothbrush, and the little blue nightdress case she'd embroidered at school for herself. They just couldn't understand why their mother hadn't told them, so they went to the study to ask her. But their mother was not there. Pip spotted a black woolen glove lying under a chair. Whose could it be? Pip looked inside. On a little tab was printed the name T. Goon. Why had he been to the house? Bets burst into a loud wail.
He's taken Gladys to prison! I know he has!
Shut up, idiot! Mother will hear you.
Bets, what's the matter? Mother! Mr. Goon's taken Gladys to prison, hasn't he?
Don't be silly. Of course he hasn't.
Well, why was he here then?
How do you know he was?
Because of this, Mr. Goon's glove. We feel certain he had something to do with Gladys going.
Well, he hasn't. She was very upset about something, and I let her go home to her aunt.
Then why did Goon come to see you?
Really, Pip, it's no business of yours. I don't want you prying into it either. I'm not going to have you mixed up in one of your so-called mysteries again.
Oh, is there a mystery then?
It's nothing to do with you.
But why did Gladys go?
I can't tell you why. It's her own private business. Now, I must get on.
I wonder why old Clear-Off was here. It was something to do with Gladys, I'm certain.
Let's tell Fatty tomorrow. He'll know what to do.
I say, a funny thing's happened at our house. Old Clear-Off went there yesterday to see our parents about something so mysterious that nobody will tell us what it was. Gladys has gone home and we can't find out why. And look, here's a glove Mr. Goon left behind.
It's all a bit strange, isn't it? Do you think he's on to some mystery we haven't heard about? Something to do with Gladys?
It seems like it.
Well, we'll jolly well find out what it is. How are we going to find out anything?
I'll go down and tackle Mr. Goon. I'll take his glove back and pretend to know lots more than I do. Give me the glove, Pip. I'll go now.
Fatty rode off on his bicycle, Buster in the basket. Mr. Goon couldn't believe his eyes when he saw him, thinking him to be in foreign parts. Pretending to know a lot more than he did, Fatty talked about the policeman's visit to the Hiltons.
Who told you about that letter?
Oh ho, thought Fatty. Something to do with a letter. He spoke aloud.
I've ways and means of finding out these things. We'd like to help you if we can.
Mr. Goon suddenly lost his temper and shouted that he didn't want any of their help, and he told Fatty to clear off. Fatty gave him his glove and cleared off, very pleased with the result of his interview. Goon had let slip about the letter. But what letter? Was it something to do with Gladys? Puzzling out these things, Fatty cycled back to the others and told them what he'd learnt. He thought that Mrs. Moon might know something, and suggested to Bets that she should ask her. Not very happily, because Mrs. Moon could be very snappy, Bets finally agreed. That afternoon, Bets went to the kitchen, but Mrs. Moon wasn't there, so she sat down to wait. From the backyard came two voices, Mrs. Moon's and Mrs. Cockle's. They were talking about the letter that Gladys had received. Bets sat up and listened. Mrs. Moon had made the girls show it to her. A nasty letter full of things Gladys wanted to forget. All in capital letters, not proper writing. and no name at the bottom. She'd told Gladys to show it to Mrs. Hilton, and Mr. Hilton had phoned the police. Mrs. Cockle was sure there'd be more like that. Them anonymous letter writers didn't stop at just one victim. Betts rushed to find the others and told them everything she'd heard about the anonymous letter. Fatty was serious. A nasty, cowardly writer of anonymous letters to be found. The find-outers had their mystery and plans to make. Later that afternoon, the 5 children were in Fatty's crowded little den. It was more crowded than ever, now that Fatty'd got various disguises and wigs, and a bookcase crammed full of detective stories.
Let's talk about our new mystery. Write down some notes, Fatty.
I was just about to. Mystery number 4. Begun April 5th. Clues.
But we haven't got any.
We soon shall have. Now, suspects.
We don't have any of those either.
Leave it to me. We'll soon have something to work on.
Yes, but what? There's nothing we can find for clues.
There's one very important thing. That anonymous letter. It's most important we should get a glimpse of it.
Who's got it?
Most likely Gladys has. We must go and see her and ask her if she knows or guesses who could have written it.
Let's go now.
Right, you take us.
But I don't know where Gladys lives.
I thought you didn't. That's the first thing we've got to do. Find out where Gladys lives.
I suppose I could ask Mother.
Don't be such a prize idiot. You know jolly well your parents don't want us mixed up in this mystery.
Well, how am I supposed to find out then?
I know a way. Gladys lent me a book and I didn't have time to give it back to her before she left. I could ask Mrs. Moon for Gladys's address so that I can send it to her.
Clever girl! You're coming on well.
I've got ideas too now.
What?
If I got a bit of paper and stuck it in an envelope and wrote Gladys's name and our address on it and posted it, Mother would readdress it, and I could see what it was when she puts it on the hall stand to be posted.
Yes, that's a very fine idea too. Here's a bit of paper and an envelope, but disguise your writing, Pip.
Why?
Well, seeing your mother gets a letter from you every week when you're away at boarding school, she might recognise your writing and wonder why you should write to Gladys.
I'm not sure if I can.
Here, give it to me. I'll do it. There you are. Elementary, my dear Pip.
I say, it's almost 6:30. If you're going to post that letter, you'd better go, Pip.
Come on, Bets. So long. We'll tell you Gladys's address tomorrow.
Right,
Bye. Bye.
Betts wrapped the book Gladys had lent her and went down to her mother.
Hello, Bets. Come to say good night. Did you have a nice time at Fatty's?
Yes, thank you. We played a lovely new game. It was fun.
What's that you've got, Bets?
Oh, Mother, it's a book Gladys lent me. I was going to ask Mrs. Moon her address so that I could send it back to her. Could I please have a stamp?
You don't need to ask Mrs. Moon. I'll see Gladys gets it.
Oh, do just let me write the address.
Bets, you always say how much you hate writing. Leave the book on the table and go up to bed. I'll see to it. Good night.
Betts had to go. She left the book on the table. Perhaps Pip would see the address later on in the evening, if her mother wrote it on the parcel. Pip was down early the next morning and put all the letters beside his mother's plate. He remarked casually that there was a letter for Gladys that would have to be readdressed. Betts asked if she and Pip should take the letter and her parcel to the post, and Mrs. Hilton agreed. Betts winked at Pip. They could both see the address. A telephone call came from Mrs. Hilton after breakfast, and she went into the hall to take it. She came back after a minute or two and told the children that they need not post the letter and parcel for Gladys after all. Someone was going to see her. Pip asked who, but was told sharply not to try and find things out that were nothing to do with him. Pip and Betts went off rather sulkily to see Fatty. Betts was near to tears. Their good ideas were no use at all. Fatty was unexpectedly sympathetic. It was only bad luck that stopped them having their reward. Together, they tried to work out who was going to see Gladys. Pip only knew it was a he. As far as Fatty was concerned, a he could only mean one person, old Clear-Off. All they had to do was follow him. Pip went off to tell Larry and Daisy the plan, and in half an hour's time, the five met just round the corner from Goon's house. About 10 minutes later, Goon departed on his bike down the road leading to the river. Fatty thought he must be going to cross the river by the ferry and led the others in pursuit. Unfortunately, all that Mr. Goon had gone to do down the river lane was to leave a message with the farmer there, then turn and cycle back up the lane. He came round the corner very quickly and found himself wobbling in the middle of the five find-outers. He came off with a crash. Pip gave a giggle, and Mr. Goon roared at him. He was just going to see Mrs. Hilton. He'd put in a complaint to her, then there'd be trouble. He rode off, leaving the children standing in the lane. Fatty was annoyed that Goon had seen them. However, now they knew for sure he was the one who was going to see Gladys. So off they went and hid behind some trees at Church Corner, waiting for old Clear-Off to show them the way to where Gladys lived. In about half an hour, Mr. Goon came cycling along and went right by the children without seeing them.
Now listen, it's no use us all tearing after him in a bunch, because he'd spot us easily. I'll go first and keep a long way ahead. You follow, see? If I have to take a turning, I'll tear a page out of my book and drop it to show you the way to go.
It's very windy today. Better hop off your bike and chalk one of those arrows on the road. The bits of paper may blow away. Got any chalk?
Of course. Yes, that's a better idea. Good for you, Pip.
Fatty rode off whistling. At the top of the hill near Haycock's Heath, Fatty was waiting for them. He'd seen Goon go into a cottage which had a notice in the window, minerals. A fine excuse to go in and buy a drink once Clear-Off had gone. They hid in a little lane, and Fatty lifted Buster down to give him a run. Unfortunately, a cat suddenly appeared, and Buster immediately gave chase. The cat leapt over the back wall of the cottage into which Mr. Goon had disappeared. There was such a hurricane of barks and yowls that Mr. Goon came out with a sharp-nosed woman and Gladys.
Get off! Bad dog! Come on! Clear off!
Oh, no. I'd better go and rescue Goon.
Buster, come here!
What are you doing here?
Having a nice bike ride and stopping here for a ginger beer.
You clear off! I'm not having you snooping around. And you, Gladys, remember what I said. Don't talk to nobody at all about this here case. Nobody, understand?
Yes, Mr. Goon.
Right. I'm off. I'm going to the shops, Gladys. See and get the dinner on in good time.
Yes, Auntie.
Oh, Gladys! We know something made you unhappy. We've come to say we're sorry.
It's right down kind of you, but I couldn't go on living in Peterswood when I knew that
The what?
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Why? What happened? You tell us, Gladys. It will do you good to tell someone.
Well, it's like this. There's something wrong I did once that I'm ashamed of now, see? And I had to go into a home to teach me right. I liked it, and I said I'd never go wrong again. When I left the home, I got a job with your mother, Master Pip, and was so happy.
Yes. Go on, Gladys.
Then somebody sent me a letter and said, "We know you were wrong and clear out, or we'll tell on you."
Who sent the letter?
I don't know. It was all in printed letters and no name at the bottom. Mrs. Moon said I ought to see Mrs. Hilton about it, so I did, but I was that upset.
Poor Gladys. But I'm sure Pip's mother was kind to you.
Oh, yes. She said I could have some days off and go to my aunt while she made some inquiries.
Why didn't you go to your parents?
Oh, I couldn't. They're in prison. They've always been dishonest and they taught me to steal too. I didn't know it was wrong, but I do now.
Gladys, the person who wrote that letter is far wickeder than you've ever been.
There was another girl in the home with me. She's with old Mrs. Garnett in Peterswood. She sent one of them letters too, but she doesn't mind as much as I do. She didn't tell nobody but me.
Did you tell Mr. Goon that?
Oh, yes. He went to see Molly straight away.
Gladys, where is your letter? Will you show it to me?
I've given it up to Goon, and he's got Molly's letter too.
Blow! There's our one and only clue gone.
I'll get it back from him, and Molly's letter too. I'm going to see Molly this evening, and I'll pop into Mr. Goon's and say I want to borrow the letters. I lend them to you.
Oh, that'll be splendid. You'll be passing my door. Could you give them to me then and collect them on the way back?
Yes, I'll do that.
Right, we must go. Goodbye, Gladys. See you later.
The 5 find-outers went home for lunch and agreed to meet at Fatty's house after tea. When it was dark, Fatty skulked about by the front gate until Gladys came along and thrust the packet of letters into his hand. She told him that she had gone into the police station and waited for Goon, but when he didn't come, she'd just taken them. Fatty slipped indoors and told the others. They would examine the letters. Then he would try and put them back without Goon knowing. There was another surprise when they opened the packet. 4 letters and a postcard, all done in capital letters, and all to people in Peterswood.
Golly, the postcard is to Mr. Lucas, gardener, Acacia Lodge, Peterswood. It says, "Who lost his job through selling his master's fruit?" Gracious, fancy sending a card with that on. Poor Mr. Lucas, he must be over 70 years old.
So other people have had these beastly letters, as well as Gladys and Molly.
They examined the envelopes, the postmarks, and the dates. They had all been posted in Sheepsale by the 11:45 a.m. post, and the 5 different dates were all Mondays. Monday is market day in Sheepsale, and when they checked the timetable, sure enough there was an early bus on that day. Fatty made up his mind at once. Obviously the beastly letter writer caught the early bus to Sheepsale and posted the letters there. All they had to do was to catch the bus next Monday, and they would see him, or her. They were really on the track. Fatty's next task was to return the letters. But before doing so, he carefully traced a few of the words, in case he came across somebody who printed their words in just that way. Then he put on his telegraph boy disguise so that he wouldn't be recognized. He padded off to Mr. Goon's, and soon saw by the darkness of his parlour that he was not back. Then he remembered that there was a darts match at the local inn, and guessed that Mr. Goon would be there. He was right. Mr. Goon walked out of the inn about 10 minutes later. Fatty accidentally bumped into him and caused an angry outburst, but the boy's earnest apologies soothed him. Mr. Goon had resumed his homeward walk when Fatty ran after him. He held out the packet of letters and asked the policeman if he had dropped them. Goon stared at the package and his eyes bulged. He didn't remember taking them with him. He grabbed the packet and Fatty vanished. Mr. Goon went home in a thoughtful frame of mind, wondering mournfully if his memory was going. There was nothing more to be done until Monday morning. The children met at the bus stop 10 minutes early. in case Fatty had any last-minute instructions for them. He had. Each child was to sit beside a different passenger, get into conversation with them, and find out what they could. When the bus came, there were 5 passengers. One of them was Mr. Goon. Unhappily for Daisy, she was the one who had to sit beside him. He was annoyed to see the children and demanded to know where they were going. Daisy told him very politely that they were going to the market. He said, "Gah," then fell silent. Daisy glanced around at the other people. Larry was sitting beside Miss Trimble, who was companion to Lady Candling. Daisy felt certain Miss Trimble could have nothing to do with the case. She was far too timid. Betts was sitting next to Mrs. Jolly from the sweet shop. Kindness herself. No, it couldn't possibly be her. Another passenger was a young girl about 18, carrying sketching things. She had a sweet, open face. Daisy felt certain that she knew nothing about the letters. Anyway, she was sitting beside Pip, chatting away, and he'd soon find out. That left only one, a sour-faced man next to Fatty, and Fatty wasn't getting on at all well. The man was very deep in his newspaper and became increasingly short-tempered every time Fatty tried to make conversation. At last, the man put down his paper and glared at Fatty angrily. In a loud voice, he told him that he was a stranger who knew nothing about sheep sale. He was going there to be picked up by his brother in a car to go on somewhere else, and the sooner Fatty took his smelly dog and sat elsewhere, the better. Most of the people in the bus heard this, including Mr. Goon, who chuckled heartily. Fatty got up and went right to the front of the bus, where the others joined him. In low voices, they discussed each of the passengers in turn and ruled them out one by one. The bus stopped in Sheepsale, and the children hurried off to the post office. Fatty produced a letter, stamped it carefully, and posted it. They watched Miss Tremble and Mrs. Jolly go off without posting letters. The artist girl came towards them, smiled, and went on. They saw the sour-faced man waiting by the curb. A car came along. He got in, and it drove off. Not a single one of the passengers had posted a letter. It was most disappointing. Fatty told the others to go off to the market, while he had a good think. The children had a really lovely time at the market. It was such a noisy, lively, friendly place. The market folk so good-humoured and talkative. Betts didn't like to think of Fatty glooming by himself, so she went to find him. He was sitting on a bench in the village street, lost in thought.
Oh, there you are, Fatty. Oh, sorry. Did I make you jump?
I haven't finished my pondering yet. Perhaps if I talk to you, Betts, I might see things a little more clearly.
Oh, yes, do talk to me. I'll listen and not say a word.
Oh, you can talk too. You're a very sensible little person.
Buster looks as if he's pondering too.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to work out what to do next. Now, every Monday for some weeks past, somebody has posted a letter here in Sheepsale to somebody living in Peterswood. It looks as if somebody living in Peterswood who knew them must have posted them.
Yes, that's right.
We worked out that the letter writer probably caught that bus on Monday and posted the letter on getting out. We caught the same bus, but we haven't found anyone we could really suspect. And mind you, every one of those passengers must go on our list of suspects.
You're not going to put Clearoff on the list, are you?
Every single person is being put there.
I dare say Clearoff has put us all down on his list. Have I said something funny?
No, Bet. But don't you realise which of the passengers posted a letter?
Nobody did. Well, except you, of course.
Yes, me. It's going to make old Goon think hard that only one of his suspects posted a letter. His pet aversion, Frederick Trottville.
But Fatty, nobody could think you would write hard letters.
Oh, Clearoff would. He must be wondering who's going to get that letter tomorrow.
And nobody will get a letter. I wonder why.
So do I.
Perhaps the person didn't come on the bus today.
That's an idea. When we go back on the bus, we'll ask the conductor if any of his regular passengers were missing.
I wish we could stay here for the day, but we haven't got our lunch with us.
Well, we could have it at that little shop over there. Look, here come the others.
They enjoyed a lovely lunch in the little dairy and cake shop, then spent some time watching the market folk packing up their unsold goods. Suddenly, they realised the time. They raced for their bus and caught it with half a minute to spare. To Fatty's deep disappointment, the driver and conductor were different. No chance to ask about the Monday passengers. Next day, the children felt rather dull after their exciting time at the market. They met at Pip's house. His parents were out and Mrs. Moon had popped down to the butcher's. They were playing a noisy game called Woo-Hoo Collywobbles when Pip heard the telephone ring. Fatty knew that Pip hated answering the phone and offered to go. It was Mrs. Cockles asking to speak to Mrs. Moon. Fatty explained that she was out and offered to take a message. Mrs. Cockles said she wouldn't be able to come today. She was with her sister, Mrs. Lamb, who was upset because she'd received one of them their anonymous letters. Fatty's brain worked quickly. He explained to Mrs. Cockles how interested he was in trying to solve the mystery of the letters and wondered if her sister would show him the letter. To his delight, Mrs. Cockles said she was sure she would if he came round. Fatty replaced the receiver and rushed upstairs in the greatest excitement and told the others the news. Then he rushed off to Willow Lane. Mrs. Cockles answered the door.
Come in. Oh, it's you. Well, my sister says what's on it isn't for anyone to read except me and the police. And I must agree with her now I've read the letter properly.
Oh, I say, you might let me just have a squint. I've seen all the others. Go on, be a sport and let me see it.
Fatty was not curious about the contents, but he badly wanted to see the printing and the envelope. Mrs. Lamb couldn't see any reason why not, and handed it to him. Fatty looked at it eagerly to see the postmark. But there was none. No stamp, no postmark. He stared in surprise. It hadn't come by post. Mrs. Lamb then told him that it was pushed under her door at about 6:30 that morning. She'd heard it, but had been too sleepy to get up. When she did get up and read it, she sent for Mrs. Cockles at once. Yes, Mrs. Cockles agreed. She'd come straight round, only stopping to tell Mr. Goon on the way. Fatty felt slightly alarmed. He didn't want to bump into old Clearoff at that moment. He stared hard at the envelope. The name and address were printed in capital letters again, and the square envelope was the same as the others. Fatty compared the tracing of the word Peterswood in his notebook with the same word on the envelope. No doubt about it. They were exactly alike. He gave the envelope back to Mrs. Lamb, said his goodbyes, and went out. Coming in at the gate was Mr. Goon. The policeman grabbed Fatty and pulled him inside the cottage. He spent an uncomfortable 10 minutes while the policeman angrily questioned the two women.
What's he doing here? That's what I want to know.
He's not interfering, only taking a friendly interest, like.
How did he know Mrs. Lamb received one of these letters?
Well, I rang up Mrs. Moon to tell her I wouldn't be in because my sister had had a letter, and Master Frederick happened to be there and took the message. He knew all about the letters and would like to see it. And I knew he wasn't half bad at snooping and things, so...
You didn't show that interfering boy that letter before you showed it to me, did you? Well, he did say he'd seen them all, so I thought there wouldn't be much harm in letting him see the envelope.
Mr. Goon nearly exploded. Seen all the other letters? How could he? They'd never been out of his possession. Suddenly, Goon remembered they had been out of his possession once, after colliding with the telegraph boy. He stared suspiciously at Fatty and asked him if the telegraph boy was his friend. Fatty looked surprised and pretended not to know what he was talking about. But Goon wasn't going to tell him. With a loud "clear off" ringing in his ears, Fatty sprinted back to Pip's. He was soon relating everything to the others. How they roared when they heard about Mr. Goon coming in and hearing that Fatty had seen all the letters.
That must have given him a shock. I bet he'll go looking for the telegraph boy now.
He'll be lucky if he finds him. But I say, now we know why none of the passengers posted the letter. It was delivered by hand.
It must be someone who didn't catch the bus yesterday, for some reason. If we can find out the person who didn't go as usual, we may have discovered who the letter writer is.
Yes, you're right, Daisy. Shall one of us catch the bus tomorrow, Fatty, and ask a few questions?
No, better not. Might look a bit funny. I've got a better idea.
What?
Let's go and see Miss Trimble. She usually takes the Monday morning bus. We could get the names from her of all the people who always catch it from Peterswood.
Yes, let's go now. Mrs. Moon's back and Pip gave her the message. She said she wasn't surprised Mrs. Lamb had got a letter. She was the dirtiest and laziest woman in the village.
Her cottage was a bit smelly. Come on, let's go next door. We'll ask Miss Trimble if she's seen your cat, Pip.
But Whiskers is here.
Oh, yes, idiot. But Miss Trimble doesn't know that. We've got to have some excuse for going. There she is, in the garden. Let's go round by the drive. Good morning, Miss Trimble. I hope you found your mother well on Monday.
Not so very well. She's always so glad to see me on Mondays.
You must quite enjoy Mondays too, going to sheep sale.
Oh, yes, I do.
I expect you know all the people who go on the bus.
Well, I do, unless they're strangers. Mrs. Jolly always goes, and that sweet artist girl.
Did you see the surly man I sat by?
Yes. I've never seen him before. Mr. Goon sometimes goes.
I suppose one or two of the regular people weren't there yesterday, were they?
Miss Tittle always goes on a Monday, but she didn't yesterday. She's a dressmaker, you know.
Is she a friend of yours?
Oh, no. She's full of gossip and scandal, and a bit spiteful. I don't like that.
No, I should think not.
I suppose there aren't any other Monday regulars.
Let me think. There's always old Nosy, who lives with his wife in a caravan in Rectory Field. Always so curious about everyone. He didn't go yesterday. And then, of course, there's always Mrs. Moon, your cook, Pip. She goes to see her mother, just like me. I didn't see her yesterday.
Well, our housemaid Gladys has gone away for a few days. I suppose Mother couldn't let Mrs. Moon off.
Oh, Miss Trimble, I nearly forgot. Have you seen our cat?
Oh, so that's what you came for. No, I'm afraid I haven't.
Probably hiding indoors. Well, we must go, Miss Trimble. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, 3 more really fine suspects. There's no doubt one of them is the letter writer. Now we'll have plenty more inquiries to make.
What inquiries?
Well, we must try and find out if Old Nosy, Miss Tittle and Mrs. Moon were out early this morning.
However are you going to find that out?
I have an idea. I'll go and do it now and come back and tell you about it in an hour.
Fatty went off whistling. An hour went by, and the children went to the window to watch for him. He came cycling up the drive, disguised as a butcher boy. When he came into the room, he took off his wig.
Well, what have you found out?
I found out a lot. Old Nosey was up before 6:30, went into the village and was back at 8 o'clock. Miss Tittle was about with her dog at 6:30, as she is every morning. Mrs. Moon was out early and was seen talking to Old Nosey. Well, there you are, find-outers. Every one of our 3 suspects could have popped that letter under the door.
But Fatty, how ever did you find out all this?
Elementary, my dear Bets. You know the field opposite Willow Lane? Well, old Dick the shepherd lives there. He's always awake at 5 o'clock, so all I had to do was to engage him in conversation, and out it all came.
I'm sure it's Mrs. Moon. She never goes out early. I've heard your mother say she gets up too late, Pip.
Shh! Here she comes.
Master Philip, Miss Betts, lunch is ready.
Oh, thank you. I say, Mrs. Moon, isn't it odd the old shepherd told Fatty he saw you out at 6:30 this morning?
Well, there now. Yes, I was out early this morning. I usually go to see my mother in sheep sale on a Monday, and I couldn't let her know I wasn't coming yesterday. I knew she'd be worrying, and I remembered old Nosey might be going up today, so I got out early and gave him a note for her.
So that's it?
That's what?
Nothing.
Time we went. See you this afternoon.
When they arrived back at Pip's, they found him and Betts in a great state of excitement. Old Clearoff was there, going for Mrs. Moon like anything. He'd been making inquiries and had found out that Mrs. Moon used to work as a cook at the home where Gladys was. She got the sack because the girls complained of her bad temper. Maybe Gladys was one of those that complained. The children leaned out of the window to listen. Mrs. Moon was demanding to know what right he had to come accusing an innocent woman. Mr. Goon growled that he was just asking routine questions. He had a lot of people to question, and he hoped they'd be more civil than Mrs. Moon. Whereupon Mr. Goon took his departure. Fatty was quite impressed with Mr. Goon. He'd obviously got a list of suspects too. All the same, he felt they were stuck again. The mystery wanted oiling a bit. Maybe something would happen tomorrow. Fatty was quite right. Plenty happened, and it was very exciting too. Fatty thought he'd wear his butcher boy disguise the next morning in case he had a bit more snooping to do. He set off to Pip's, and Mrs. Hilton saw him flash by the window. The others greeted Fatty with delight. He pulled off his wig and apron in case Mrs. Hilton came in. He had no sooner done this than a great commotion started downstairs.
It's Mrs. Moon and Mother. Whatever is happening? Mrs. Moon is crying and howling like anything, and Mother is trying to make her stop. Gracious, what can the matter be?
I'll go down and see what's up.
No, Mrs. Moon, you are not to go on like this. I won't have it. Pull yourself together at once.
Oh, Mum, to think I get one of those nasty letters and such a spiteful one too. Look what it says.
I don't want to see it, Mrs. Moon. Pay no attention to it. You know it's only written out of someone's spiteful imagination. Let Mr. Goon see it and then forget about it.
Mr. Goon? Didn't he come here yesterday and tell me I might be one of them he suspects could have written the letters? Me, a law-abiding woman!
Pull yourself together. When did the letter come?
Just this minute. Someone pushed it under the kitchen door.
Mrs. Hilton was thoughtful. She'd just seen the butcher boy through the window. She told Mrs. Moon to make herself a cup of tea while she phoned Mr. Goon. Fatty wished heartily he hadn't put on his butcher boy disguise. He must hide it well away, he thought as he shot upstairs. The others were amazed at his news. That ruled Mrs. Moon out. When Goon arrived, the children stood unseen at the top of the stairs. They heard Mrs. Hilton tell him that Mrs. Moon had received one of those letters. Imagine their astonishment when he told Pip's mother that he had received one as well, pushed through the letterbox that morning. Mr. Goon interviewed Mrs. Moon, but this soon turned stormy. Mrs. Moon hadn't forgotten their meeting the day before. He heard next about the red-headed butcher boy, who had so mysteriously ridden up and left no meat. Mr. Goon immediately thought of the red-headed telegraph boy. Now a red-headed butcher boy. Funny goings-on. Mrs. Hilton suggested that he might like to ask the children if they saw anything. When he went upstairs to the playroom, the children were innocently playing a game of snap. Needless to say, poor old Goon received a lot of confusing answers in response to his questions. He departed no wiser, but very determined to run the red-headed butcher boy and the equally red-headed telegraph boy to earth. With Mrs. Moon ruled out, the mystery seemed more of a muddle than ever. Fatty thought the next move should be to try and get specimens of Miss Tittle's and Old Nosy's writing, just to compare them with his tracing. That might reveal something. Fatty disguised himself with a red wig, red eyebrows and freckles, and a round messenger boy's hat. It was essential that people should think he was a delivery boy in order for him to get specimens of their writing. He made up a parcel of old pipes and some tobacco and set off on his bicycle for the caravan in Rectory Field. Mrs. Nosy was outside cooking something over a fire, and Nosy was sitting beside it. Fatty handed the parcel to the surprised Old Nosy and asked him to sign the receipt. The gypsy flatly refused to sign anything. Fatty tried to insist, but in vain. Eventually, Mrs. Nosy quietly told him Old Nosy couldn't read or write, so she signed. That ruled Old Nosy out and left only Miss Tittle. Fatty went home and packed a piece of material into a cardboard box. He was just in time to catch Miss Tittle setting out for the day. She was surprised to receive a parcel by special delivery, but she signed for it in extremely neat capital letters. Fatty rode away and wondered if it was really necessary to get a specimen of Mrs. Moon's writing. Better, he supposed. She's been one of the suspects. With a small, neat parcel, he went to the back door of Pip's house. Mrs. Moon came out.
Parcel for you, special delivery. Please sign here. Capital letters, name and address.
Oh, my hands are all flour. You just sign it for me, young man. Now, who can that parcel be from, I wonder?
Afraid you'll have to sign it yourself, against the rules.
Mrs. Moon sat at the table and laboriously penciled her name and address. She mixed up small and capital letters in a curious way. Fatty went off. If Mrs. Moon didn't know the difference between small and capital letters, he didn't see how she could have printed all those spiteful letters. Fatty cycled off, so deep in thought he almost ran over a dog. It yelped so loudly that Fatty got off his bicycle to comfort it. A harsh voice suddenly asked him what he was doing. He looked up, startled, to see Mr. Goon standing over him. The policeman was gazing at his red wig, and the next thing Fatty knew, he was being led by the arm to old Clear-Off's house. Mr. Goon was muttering grimly about red-headed boys. He pushed Fatty inside, took him upstairs and locked him in a small box room. He would stay there until Goon was ready to question him. Fatty looked round. He must escape out of the locked door. He took a piece of folded newspaper from his pocket, smoothed it out, and slid it under the crack at the bottom of the door. Then he took a piece of wire from his pocket, inserted it carefully into the lock, and pushed against the key until it fell onto the paper outside the door. He gently pulled the newspaper into the room with the key on it. In no time, he unlocked the door and listened. Mr. Goon was on the telephone. Fatty, relocking the door, crept downstairs, out of the back door and home. He had to leave his bike behind, but he'd think of some way of getting it back later. Mr. Goon finished his telephoning and went clumping upstairs to the box room to give that boy what for. He turned the key and flung open the door. He trod heavily into the room, a pompous look on his red face. There was nobody there. Mr. Goon couldn't believe his eyes. Nobody could walk through a locked door. Mr. Goon began to feel he was dealing with magic. Poor Mr. Goon. He had indeed had a trying morning. He'd first of all gone to the post office to talk to the red-headed telegraph boy, but when the telegraph boy had come, he wasn't red-headed. He made his way to each of the butchers in turn to interview the butcher boys. The first one had had no boy at all, only old Sam who'd been delivering the meat for 15 years, whilst the second butcher had 2 boys. One was fair-haired and the other was black-haired, dark as a gypsy. Mr. Goon didn't even notice the boy's bicycle in his front garden, even when he went out to get his midday paper. Nor did he notice Larry waiting about at the corner. Larry had been posted there by Fatty to watch what Goon did with his bike. When he saw Goon go out of his garden and into the paper shop, Larry acted like lightning. He shot into the garden, took Fatty's bike out, and rode off at top speed. Mr. Goon was on his way back from the paper shop when he remembered the bicycle and hurried back to lock it up. He went into his front garden, then stopped in dismay. The bicycle was gone. He gulped. 3 red-headed boys, and now a solid bicycle, all disappearing into thin air. This was getting too much for him. The 5 find-outers and Buster met in the little summer house at the top of Pip's garden that afternoon. Fatty showed them the 2 specimens of handwriting he'd taken from Miss Tittle and Mrs. Moon, and told them that Nosy couldn't write at all.
There doesn't seem to be a single suspect left, Fatty.
And except for seeing the letters, we've got no real clues either.
I wonder if Clearorf suspects someone we don't know about.
He may do. I shouldn't be surprised if he solves the mystery after all, and not us.
Fatty, how can you say that? It would be dreadful if Inspector Jenks was pleased with him and not us.
Let's get out of this summer house. It's absolutely melting in here. Don't forget your wig and stuff, Fatty.
I'll take it this evening. Come on, let's go for a walk by the river.
I say, there's old Goon coming up the drive.
Listen to me, you lot. As a result of my inquiries, I've discovered that red-headed telegraph boy's a fake. I warn you all, if you hobnob with redheads, you'll get into serious trouble.
Oh, you do frighten me.
I'll have none of your sauce. I know more than what you think. Now, Master Hilton, is Mrs. Moon in?
Yes, in the kitchen.
Let's go.
It's so nice here by the river. I keep thinking about those letters, but the more I think, the less I know.
Same here. A most mysterious mystery.
One that even the great detective, Mr. Frederick Sherlock Holmes Trotville, can't solve either.
Correct. I almost, but not quite, give it up.
Blow. Here's old Clearorf again, coming this way. He's carrying a small sack.
Here's your sack. More clues, I suppose. More of your childish jokes, hidden nicely under a bush for me to find. What do you think I am, a nitwit?
What's up, Mr. Goon?
You know as well as I do. More clues. I suppose you'll tell me next you don't know anything about that sack of clues.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know anything about red wigs either, I suppose. Well, I know a lot. I'll teach you to lay clues about for me to find. I'm off now, but don't forget what I said.
Oh, Fatty, has he found your red wig?
We'll look in the summer house when we go back.
Let's have a look in this sack Clearorf kept yammering about.
Golly, That's my school dictionary. I lost that last holes. How did that get in there?
Let me see it. Hey, look. Some words have been underlined. Fruit, thief, and there are others.
Here's an alphabet book.
A is for apple, B is for baby. Most peculiar.
Look at this, a kid's copybook. The writing's not very good.
Well, well. A bus timetable. See what's marked? The 10:15 bus to sheep sale. What do you think of that? These are real clues.
Gosh, how silly of Mr. Goon to give them to us.
There's a scrap of paper too. More bits of writing. Spoonful, stir, oven. Poor old Goon. He makes one glorious find in this mystery and throws it down at our feet.
In silence, they went home to Pip's. When they got into the drive, they saw a big black car there and Mr. Goon's bicycle. Mrs. Hilton suddenly opened the front door and stood there waiting for them.
Mr. Goon is here, and he's got Inspector Jenks over too. They're in the drawing room. Come along.
Inspector Jenks!
Hello, Bets. Hello, you lot.
Children, Mr. Goon brought Inspector Jenks over here today because he has a serious complaint to make about your behaviour.
Suppose you hold forth, Goon.
Well, sir, I know your high opinion of these children, but they've been getting above themselves, hindering me in my duties. One of them, this here Frederick Trotfield, has meddled in this anonymous writing and sent me a rude and uncivil letter, sir. And what's more, he goes about pretending to be what he's not.
Exactly what do you mean by that, Goon?
Well, sir, he's a whole lot of red-headed boys. Took me in proper, he did. But as soon as I found the red wig, sir...
Who told you where it was?
Mrs. Moon showed me. Yes, and she told me too how she overheard you planning to write that there letter to me.
Really? Perhaps she also told you who is the writer of those other anonymous letters?
Well, no, she didn't.
Frederick, surely you did not write that letter to Mr. Goon?
No, I didn't. As for disguises, I'm just practicing. I have been investigating the mystery of the anonymous letters, and by great good luck, I've had a whole lot of clues thrust upon me.
Oh, yes?
Oh, what are the clues, Frederick?
The ones in this sack, sir.
Those clues you planted for me to find. Another one of your jokes. Well, they've landed you in serious trouble. As soon as I told the inspector everything, along he came.
Well, as far as we're concerned, he's come at exactly the right moment.
And what did you want to see me about?
About this anonymous letter business, sir.
Another case for the 5 find-outers and dog.
Yes, sir. A very difficult affair. We got on a lot of wrong trails. I expect Mr. Goon told you about the bus to sheep sale, sir, and how the letters were always posted there by 11:45. I expect, like us, he made inquiries to see if any of the regular passengers failed to go on the bus that day, and narrowed his suspects down to Old Nosy, Miss Tittle, and Mrs. Moon.
Yes, he did. I think it was pretty smart work of you children to work all that out.
Smart work? I suppose he'll tell you next he knows who that letter writer is.
Yes, I do know who the letter writer is.
Who is it?
May I ring the bell, Mrs. Hilton?
You may.
Did you ring, madam?
I rang. This is the anonymous letter writer, Mrs. Moon.
What do you mean? How dare you say things like that to a law-abiding woman?
Hardly law-abiding, Mrs. Moon. Frederick, please explain. I want to know all about it.
I won't be treated like this, I won't. An innocent woman like me? Why, I've even had one of them letters myself.
Yes, you nearly took me in over that, but it was just a bit of artfulness on your part.
You bad, wicked boy!
Silence. If you are innocent, you'll be given plenty of chance to prove it, Mrs. Moon. Now, Frederick, begin.
Well, sir, you know already that we worked out about the bus to sheep sale, the regular passengers, and how we got down to 3 suspects.
Mr. Goon worked on the same lines.
We found out that another letter had been sent that Monday, delivered by hand. That definitely pointed to someone in Peterswood, possibly one of our 3 suspects.
Quite. Your powers of deduction are good, Frederick.
The letter was delivered very early in the morning. I found that all 3 suspects were up early that Tuesday. That shook me, and the only thing I could think of was to get specimens of their handwriting.
A good idea, but difficult.
I put on a disguise as a red-headed messenger boy, delivered a parcel to each, and got them to sign a receipt in capital letters.
Ingenious.
Well, I found that Nosy couldn't write. Miss Tittle's printing was neat and beautiful, nothing like the letters. To my surprise, Mrs. Moon's printing was a mixture of capital and small letters, instead of all capitals, as in the letters.
So you ruled her out too. Well, Frederick, how did you come to know in the end it was Mrs. Moon?
It was Mr. Goon who put me on the right track. He gave us that whole sackful of clues on the table. As soon as I saw them, I was able to piece things together.
Exactly what did these things tell you?
There's a dictionary with Pip's name in it, probably used by somebody living here. The alphabet book, used for capital letters. And the copybook. Even Bets could read that clue.
Yes, I can. Mrs. Moon practiced writing capitals in it. See them?
The bus timetable was easy. And this bit of torn paper. The words on it are from a recipe. I expect you'll find that they're in Mrs. Moon's ordinary writing.
Oh, you're all against me.
You only have yourself to blame. You must come with me for further questioning. Mrs. Hilton, I fear Mrs. Moon will not be returning to you.
I don't want her, the spiteful woman. Poor Gladys. I'll fetch her back at once.
I must say, I'm pleased with the 5 find-outers and dog. Thank you.
Oh, well, I suppose we ought to thank Mr. Goon for all those clues.
Thank you, Mr. Goon.
Yeah.